there was a rumor that he got you fired from ESPN.
He tried.
So I can understand why you don't like him.
He did try, yep.
Oh,
he did try to do that. I was like, wow, I'm honored that I'm even on your mind. Thank you very much.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Michelle Beadle. This is a name I have not heard of in a couple of years almost, because she got let go or negotiated, quote unquote, her buyout at ESPN, I believe in 2019. And she was paid very well to go away. And now, because she has this new podcast, she decided to, well, it came up in conversation in regards to LeBron James wanting to get her fired. So somebody high up in ESPN must have told her that LeBron James did not want her there. She did not specifically say why he would want her gone, but she thinks that it's because of her making fun of his decision announcement. What was it, like 10, 11 years ago? But even though she is saying that, I don't believe that's what it is. And somebody high up, because, Michelle Beadle was cool with the former bosses at ESPN. So they probably did tell her that. I have no doubt that LeBron James pulls he pulls a few strings to get people hired at ESPN. I don't know about the firing thing. The media is very favorable to LeBron James. So the fact that Michelle Beadle is bringing up this now while she's having a conversation with Paul Pierce, because Paul Pierce is a guy that is not very well liked amongst the fans of LeBron James. They think that he's biased. They think that he has something against LeBron. And there were LeBron James fans that were happy that he was let go from ESPN. Even though Paul Pierce has not changed his tune on LeBron James, and I don't think Paul Pierce could care less. Okay? But let's get into this article from The Spun. It says, Michelle Beadle says LeBron James tried to get her fired. Michelle Beadle of The Athletic. It's funny, there's a few ESPN rejects that have gone to The Athletic. Recently sat down with Hall of Famer Paul Pierce for a wide-ranging interview. During that discussion, Pierce brought up a rumor involving Beadle and the NBA star LeBron James. Pierce asked Beadle if it's true that James tried to get her fired when she was working for ESPN. Her response was quite interesting. He tried. Beadle said he tried to do that. I was like, wow, I'm honored that I'm even on your mind. Thank you very much. That's a weird place for me to be. Well, let me just say this, Michelle Beadle. Maybe, I don't know if he did. Maybe he did, but maybe it has something to do, Michelle, with the fact that you disrespected Tracy McGrady live on television. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and look it up on YouTube. Her interaction with Tracy McGrady when they were on, I believe, an NBA Countdown set, and she got very disrespectful with Tracy. I'm not saying that's why LeBron James would want to get her fired, but I don't believe that LeBron would want to get her fired because he doesn't like the fact that she's her. She is listening to people tell her things, and she's regurgitating it because she's on this podcast, and she wants people to know that, people know her. So she's throwing LeBron James' name out there. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron James like that. I have been critical of LeBron James, but I'm not going to sit here and act like LeBron cares about what Michelle Beadle thinks. I could be wrong. Maybe there's more history. But I have not personally heard anything of LeBron James and Michelle Beadle having any beef, having any issues. If there's any issues, they were created by Michelle Beadle and Michelle Beadle alone. Now, I know that LeBron James has gotten his buddies hired at ESPN or other networks, but the fact that she's putting him out here as if all LeBron James thinks about is her, so he just decided to call up whoever was running ESPN at the time or, just say, hey, I don't like this woman, get her off TV. Now, she's not being truthful. She's, because again, I didn't watch a lot of the NBA coverage because of her. She's insufferable. I think she's an attention seeker. There's a reason why she tends to not last very long in anything she does. She moves around to different shows. Is because there's a problem with her. There's a her problem. And the fact that she's throwing LeBron James's name out there, listen, I don't know if LeBron James wanted to get her fired. You got to ask yourself the question, though. Why would LeBron James want to get her fired? What would she have said about LeBron James that would have LeBron James calling up whoever was running ESPN at the time? Was it John Skip? Whoever running ESPN at the time, and say, I don't like this woman, get her off your network. It's almost as if she still can't get over the fact that she got let go. Now, she did negotiate a favorable buyout, but she still wanted to be there because she's at The Athletic. Her career is nowhere. No one thinks about her. No one talks about her. She's doing a podcast that no one even cared about until she mentioned LeBron James. This story is actually a day old, but I was going to speak about it because Michelle Beadle is one of those people that, again, she never is successful at anything. So her throwing LeBron James's name out there and saying he tried to get me fired, we really have to think. Why would LeBron James want to get her fired? Does LeBron James like her? Probably not. I've never heard of anybody that got fired from ESPN who got fired because LeBron James wanted them to get fired. If anything, it might have been your egregious NBA coverage, okay? Your egregious hosting of that NBA Countdown show. Maybe that's why, others would not want you there, or LeBron may not want you there because, this person is horrendous. Get somebody else. Maybe that's what it was. Give somebody else the opportunity. Maybe LeBron James mentioned that. But I don't think LeBron James is waking up every day trying to figure out a way to get rid of Michelle Beadle. I think Michelle Beadle believes in her own hype. I think that she still can't get over the fact that she's no longer at ESPN. But I will say this, though. If LeBron James did do that, I believe he would. I believe LeBron James would. I believe LeBron James would have gotten her fired. But you got to ask yourself, what did she say about LeBron besides her making fun of his decision announcement back in 2010? You mean to tell me he's held a grudge then, and because of that he wanted you fired for what? For making fun of him? There are a lot of people making fun of him. It was an ongoing joke on sports shows for months, the decision. So you got to look at it too. There's a lot of people turning on LeBron James. Not a lot of people. Slowly, there's a contingent of people who are turning on LeBron James. You got Enes Kanter, fellow NBA player, calling out LeBron James in association with China. The media is not protecting LeBron like they used to. And I mean as recently as last year into this year, LeBron is getting hit with all types of criticisms. He's not getting protected as much. And maybe that's why Michelle Beadle feels comfortable saying that. Now, Paul Pierce did bring that up. Paul Pierce basically brought that up. There was a rumor that he tried to get her fired. But again, how do they know that? That information is leaking from somewhere. It's leaking from somewhere. Now, personally, she was going to be gone from ESPN sooner or later. Sooner or later, she was going to be gone from ESPN. Eventually, she was going to be gone from ESPN. Beadle believes James was offended that she made fun of the way he handled his free agency decision in 2010. My stuff with him started off not personal. I made fun of the decision like 400,000 other talking heads did at the time. I think for some reason that was it. It wasn't personal to begin, but now it will always be personal. So what that means, you're going to go to war with LeBron? Despite claiming that James tried to get her fired from ESPN, it doesn't sound like Beadle was bothered by that situation. I'm very comfortable with not liking people, Beadle said. I think that's what makes us all healthy. It's the people who pretend they like everyone. You can't trust them. Well, Beadle, it's people in your, people that you're cool with that do that. They pretend like they are wholesome and good and that they're the greatest people on earth when they're fake. They're fake and they're fraudulent, just like Michelle Beadle. Michelle Beadle was a fake, fraudulent person who I saw disrespect a black man on national television, but she's complaining about LeBron James trying to get her fired. I saw you disrespect Tracy McGrady live on TV, and ESPN washed their hands of you because of your mouth and because of your attitude and because of the fact that you were going viral for the wrong reasons. You were putting out political opinions. You were saying stupid, idiotic things. You were a headache for ESPN. And LeBron James probably said, you know what, get rid of her. She's ruining your network. So no, I don't think it was personal on LeBron. He just saw you and how you were terrible at what you did. You were the goofy blonde on an NBA panel with a bunch of brothers, and you shouldn't have been in that spot. Do we know? Is there truth to this? There might be. Who cares? She was terrible at her job. That's why she got let go. That's why she, quote unquote, left on her own terms. She left because sooner or later she would have been fired. They weren't going to pay her the salary they were paying her. I think they was paying her, what, $5 million a year from what I understand, or close to it. They were going to get rid of, and she knew this. That's why she left when she did. And because she was bad at her job, and she was somebody that ESPN saw as a problem. So let me know in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.